If you're ready for a little channel chat along with a second look using the Stoned collection from Urban Decay, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and oh yeah, we're going to play with Urban Decay, the mini palette, the full-size Stoned palette, and I'm also going to try a new product to me from Urban Decay, which is the Troublemaker mascara. That was in the mystery box. It was a product in the mystery box that I purchased. If you want to see the video, I'll put it right there for you. So mystery box and Urban Decay Stoned collection, lots to talk about for sure. And I also, as I introed, I also want to talk about this channel and where I'm at, the evolution, and where I'm at as a YouTuber, if that is of interest to you. If you've been around for a while, I'm sure that you won't mind reminiscing a little bit along with me as well as talking about a whole lot of stuff. Let's just talk about the palette because I'm going to be doing essentially kind of a get ready with me. I'm going to do my eye makeup, and I already have my cheek makeup done pretty much, but eyes and lips if I choose to change it. So a partial get ready with me, I guess. I want to show you a few of the colors that I'll be using, and also the fact that there is a similar possibility for this kind of a look in the two palettes. So this one is in the main palette, as is this one, and this one is in the mini. So I want to do this combination here, but I wanted to show you this combo because you could do a somewhat similar look using just the large Stoned palette. In this case, I'll be using both. And also wanted to show you that the brown, this is Third Eye, and this is the brown matte in the mini palette. Third Eye is in the large palette, that they are relatively similar. So even if you don't have both palettes, you will be able to achieve a similar look to what it is that I'm doing today. Just wanted to put that out there because it can be annoying if, to me anyway, if I see somebody use a palette along with a companion palette and I don't have the other palette, right? I mean, that can be a little annoying. But definitely for blue eyeshadow, a blue eyeshadow look using the Stoned collection, you can definitely achieve that whether you have the mini or the larger palette. The only thing that this mini does not have is the deeper blue, but you could use a deeper blue matte to get that done. The one that is right here is this one that I was pointing to earlier. So this deep blue is only in the large palette. So I guess you would have to find just a metallic blue to work with. But at least you have this option, and this option, depending on which one of the palettes you have. Clear as mud? Clear as mud, maybe. It's the deep blue that is only in the Stoned palette. Okay. Yak. So I'm going to start in with the Stoned palette, and out of this little guy, the only one I'm going to be using is this little one right here. I think that this one is the one that most people will have if they were really interested in the Stoned collection. And I will, as I usually do for palettes with a brush in it, I will be using this brush and my finger to apply the eyeshadow. And I'm going to use Third Eye in the crease. If you are not super familiar with this channel, I want to give you a little bit of a background. I got on YouTube on April 27th of 2018. That is the day that I released my first ever video, and I was petrified. I'll put that video right there if you want to see it. If you want a good laugh at somebody who's terrified and just trying to get through her first video. And so April 27th, 2018, and now we are end of October 2020. I have been on this platform for probably 2.5 years, right on the nose by the time you see this video. And yeah, a lot of evolution. And I've gone from obviously 0 to now where I am, which is mid 800s as far as your support as subscribers by choosing to hit that subscribe button. And so to every one of you in the approximate 850 people who have chosen to show support by subscribing, I give a warm thank you. And as a matter of fact, one of these folks is Amy, who requested this very look today. And I do tend to listen to requests and consider them when I hear them, when I say, hey, would you be interested in the look? Let me know which colors you're interested in. I really do listen, pay attention, and see which ones are of most interest to the folks who choose to take the time to let me know. So that is why I'm doing this blue look, because the first impressions that I did with this palette was doing a green look, and Amy B. Girl specifically asked me to consider doing a blue look in the comments of that video. So Amy, here you go. So 2.5 years, and I have to say that I'm really understanding what it is to be on the struggle bus to get to the first 1,000. And it is, unless you blow up in some way, shape, or form, the first 1,000 is a slugfest. And if you're curious, I have the number here. I have 957 videos at this point as I film this video. And so it's a lot of content, preparation, thought, blood, sweat, and tears if you want, to get the channel to where I wanted it to offer up the content that I wanted to offer. And so it's been an experience, and it's been a thrill. It's been a frustration, a source of frustration for sure. At times, I've been very, very lucky in that I really don't get a lot of hate. I have seen some YouTubers deal with some pretty lousy people on the interwebs. And I've been really, really lucky. I've only had a few videos where it attracted some not so nice commentary for no good reason. And so I feel like I've been somewhat shielded from that, just because folks watching are just nice, kind, decent people for the vast majority, the most part. And I have told my husband this a number of times, how I feel so lucky to have a following who is so a bunch of, as Kara C would say, a bunch of decent human beings. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that about our group here who congregates on HMM makeup. Really, really, I have a lot of gratitude towards you for that. It's been a wonderful experience so far, and the work it's a labor of love, and it's a lot of work. A YouTube channel, it's amazing how much effort goes into it if you give a hoot. And I do give a hoot. And if no YouTuber has told you this yet, or if you just haven't heard it, it's about 3 to 4 times. So whatever amount of time you see a video is, editing is 3 or 4 times the work of the duration of the video that you're seeing. Some would argue it's 3 or 4 times the duration of the raw footage. But let's just go with the amount of time that the video is, because that's what you can assess by seeing nothing but the finished product, right? It's an amazing amount of time that we put in. And right now, my payoff in doing this, because I'm below 1,000 subscribers, and if you are not aware, monetization doesn't really happen until you're past 1,000. So right now, my payoff for doing YouTube videos is the interaction that I have with you in the comment section and in emails. And right now, Instagram has not allowed me to get back into my Instagram account. So if you are wondering why I'm not vocal on Instagram or posting on Instagram anymore, I can't get into it. And I'm so frustrated about it. So if you want to interact with me, find me on Twitter, HMM Makeup on Twitter. And I have just started now, posting my thumbnails and interacting more on Twitter. And it's really affecting me a lot that I can't post or interact on Instagram. I have tried reaching out to Instagram. I have tried everything I can think of to get into my account, and I can't. If any of you wizards out there know how to fix it, I would love it. But right now, if you want to interact with me other than the comments, it would be on Twitter. All right. And my Twitter handle is always in the description box if you want to find it, and also on my channel page and all that good stuff. And I'm not getting very blue, am I? So I did third eye all over, and I did want to use quite a bit of third eye because I have heard from a few, that looks funny. I have heard from a few creators and viewers alike that third eye is a problematic shadow. I don't know why. I don't know if maybe there were some palettes that had a third eye shadow that was a dud. I know Angelica Nyqvist was not happy with it. I don't have a problem. I'm really, really happy with it. And we're going to go into blues now. So I'm going to go into this Ojo. And if you are going to complete the look with this palette, it would be this one and then this one. But I'm going to use this one and the blue in the 6-pan mini. So, and I'm going to use my finger. So I'm going to go right into, I think it's Ojo. I don't think it's Oyo, but I could be wrong. So let's call it Ojo. I suspect most people are going to say that. So I picked up quite a bit. I'm going to go on the outer lid to, not quite, I'll go to halfway and then decide later on based on the inner to center lid what it looks like. Oh boy, I went a little high. Okay, there we go. Fixing eyeshadow 101. All right, so I'm going back in with what's on my finger. Going a little bit in again. And this, I talked about it in my first impressions. This eyeshadow formula is kind of putty-like. It moves in the pan. It's really kind of neat the way it works. And it is flaky. But with just the warmth of the finger and the warmth of the eyelid, it does become quite malleable. And I quite like it. And I'm going to go with the same eyeshadow just on the outer, very outer lower lid. I did this on the last 3 looks I've done with various palettes, and I'm really enjoying it, so I'm going to do it again. Okay, good. All right, so that's it for the blue on that side. I'm going to recreate the same on this side. So I'm talking a lot today, so I'm not going to go off camera. I'm just going to keep going with the eye looks. I'm making funny faces. This is really quite deep. I'm very happy. Thank you, Amy, for asking about blue. Because it's not a color that I tend to go for, so it's a good reminder that a lot of folks like blue. Use a brush again to get rid of the unwanted blue. So I get rid of the big amount, and then I'm going in with the brush that I use to kind of lay the foundation for the look. So, okay, back in with that finger, and I'm going to go on the outer lower lid. Okay, a bit more intensity on the outer lid here without messing it up, hopefully. Okay, just got my powder brush. This is the angled powder brush. Yeah, angled powder brush from Smashbox. I'm just going to get rid of some fallout. This is my fallout brush. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. And you'll see that I'm not finishing up on the inside. There's just more blue on the outside, but that's okay because I'm going to connect that with a liner later. I think that's what I'm going to do anyway. And as I said, I'm not going to use Opal Aura in this one, although you could. And I think that is good. I have Good Karma on the brow bone, so I'm good. And third eye. And now I am ready to go into Seeker, which is this one right here. Now this I could have used instead of third eye. That would have been fine, right? But anyway, Seeker, and I could have used this one on the brow bone as opposed to the one in the stoned palette. So that is all fine. And given Seeker is a lighter color and I'm using it on the inner to center or 2/3, I'll have to see how they overlap. I'm going to use my favorite multitasker brush, and it is called the Multitasker brush from Smashbox. And just so we're clear on the Smashbox brushes, I got a 2/3 discount on a whole set of 15 brushes from Smashbox, and I got these for a fraction of what they usually sell on, well, anywhere that Smashbox brushes are sold. So I don't want to give the impression that I went and spent $25 Canadian on each one of the Smashbox brushes that you see. That is just not how I roll, and I don't want to give that impression that I'm showing Smashbox brushes because they are the cat's meow. I was opportunistic. Now, going back to the channel info, I was really happy to have had the chance to kind of evolve my channel based on the feedback and ideas that I've been receiving from a lot of people who watch the channel. I really do take these suggestions, thoughts, opinions that people express politely into a great deal of consideration. If somebody is making demands temper tantrum style, I'm much less likely to be interested in acquiescing and or being amenable to creating content for someone who I think is being abusive and asking for it, right? I mean, that's human nature. You don't want to help out somebody who's beating you over the head. So here we go. I think that looks really good. And I'm inclined to do the same thing and use this Seeker color on the outer to center lower lid, but I have to be really careful. And so I think I'm going to start off with this precision smudger from Smashbox and go and really have control over the placement of this shadow. So let's try it out. Okay, it's picking up better than I thought it would, so that's great. It's not as intense as a finger, obviously, but it's picking up pretty well. Better than I thought, really. And so there are a number of series that, of course, I came up with myself for this channel. I mean, obviously, every YouTube creator has some ideas about what they want to do on the channel. Otherwise, they wouldn't start a channel. And I have done quite a few series that I like. The Brand New Focus series, where I focus on a given brand of either skincare or makeup. The palette collection Roulette. Now that I have quite a bit, you can see a lot back here, quite a bit of makeup palettes. I do like to do roulette style videos where I think we're on the 9th, I think it's the 9th, of that style of video. Sometimes it's random numbers, sometimes you get to choose which palette you want me to go back and use more of. That's a lot of fun. There's the typical rolling project pan and other panning projects. I also do an advent calendar type project with lipsticks this year. That's a lot of fun. What else? Oh, I'm panning a palette. That there's always a lot of interest in taking a look at how I'm using up the Smashbox Matte Exposure palette. A great exchange with a friend of mine and Ireland-based YouTuber Steph. Lyons did a lot of swapping of makeup so far with her. That was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that it continues in the future. Steph Lyons is a fantastic person. If you haven't checked out her channel, I talk about her all the time. Please check her out. And really, what it comes down to, this whole adventure, for any YouTuber, I think that getting to the first 1,000 subscribers it really is the first milestone. And what I've noticed too is once you get to 1,000, there's a different feel for channels that are over 1,000 compared to below 1,000. And that's, I want to get to that next vibe. And it does do a lot for a creator to get to over 1,000. And so I would say, if you haven't considered it yet, I would highly suggest, if you have some YouTubers that you really quite like, smaller YouTubers who you haven't subscribed to yet, but you tend to go back to their channel regularly, to hit that subscribe button, because it makes a huge difference to them. Once you get to 1,000, there's a lot that you can do. And so I am really looking forward to being able to take advantage of some of what YouTube opens up once any creator gets to 1,000. Why am I not 100% okay with this? This looks deeper than that side. And I think I'm just going to wipe off my finger and just see if I can have it more malleable. And I did not plan it, by the way, to have blue nails when I did this. It's just a it's by happenstance. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, well, I think they're relatively even. I'm not going to fuss over it too much. Here we go. So I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place because it's hard to do makeup and talk, at least for me. Let's go into liners. I think I'm going to reapply the Zero liner on my upper waterline. I did have it when we started the video. And my look is pretty much Urban Decay intensive, in that I'm wearing the inked brow in my eyebrows, and it's a color that's a little bit too dark for me. The taupe color is the better match, but I ran out of taupe in the sample they sent me. So I'm using I have it right here. I'm using the next one down, which is the Brunette Betty. So here's the sample. You'll see I used up taupe, and now I'm into this one. But this one is the maximum. I don't think I'll be able to use either one of these two. Yeah, dark drapes, I will not need those. But Brunette Betty, warm medium brown, that's as far as I can go, because as you can tell, I have Groucho Marx eyebrows. But I'm really fond of this brow product, big time. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go back into Zero and put it on my upper waterline, and then we can talk about the rest of how I'm going to finish the eye look. So I would say this channel is about a third panning, a third showing and trying new makeup. And when I say new, I don't mean the day it came out I bought it. That's just not me. And I think that there's got to be room. That's great English. There has to be room on YouTube more for more YouTubers who are willing to say to the makeup industry, no, I'm not going to buy it right when it comes out. You have to do better for me. You have to give me some incentive because there's so much makeup out there that I can bide my time. So I tend to wait or have an offer. So for example, this stoned palette, I was able to get it off Urban Decay, but I was also able to get it with $20 off pretty much reasonably soon after it launched, and I decided to pounce on it, and I'm happy I did. $20 off of $68 was a lot of money off, and I could justify getting it maybe sooner than the 50% off, but $20 off 68 was pretty good, and I'm quoting Canadian dollars. And then this one I was able to get, it was $33 Canadian, and I got it for 30% off of the 33. So again, it made sense to me to get it based on that price. And I'm not ashamed to talk about discounts that I seek out and that I get for makeup, because I just don't think that the cost of makeup is discussed enough on YouTube, and I think that that's something that I bring. And I do know that it does offend some people, and I find it interesting as a social experiment, as a cultural oddity. It's so interesting that folks don't want to talk about buying discounted items. And I don't know where that social pressure comes from, but it's not coming from this channel, that I can tell you. I'm a lot more focused on hopefully bringing something new, something different to the channel, and don't feel the need to experience that pressure of having something first. I'd rather have more of a focus on comparing something that I get to something else, talking about brands in general, talking about series of makeup in general. For example, the Naked series from Urban Decay, now the Stone series from Urban Decay, just because we're talking Urban Decay today. Series from Pat McGrath, series from, there's so many, Colored Rain, lots of indie. I have lots of indie. Cleona Cosmetics, gosh, Juvia's Place, lots to talk about. I don't think we need to be in a hurry to have everything, even if we are on this platform as YouTubers, and definitely not as consumers. The FOMO is absolutely created by marketing, and I should know this as a marketer myself. That is my background, is marketing. Okay, so we are, oh. I didn't notice. Why didn't you tell me I had a smudge down here? Good. So I wanted to do a little bit of a talk about how long this channel's been around, where I'm at, and share the fact that I'm really excited and looking forward to getting to 1,000, because it unlocks a bunch of stuff that YouTube doesn't allow YouTubers until you reach 1,000. And it's certainly not monetization that's driving it, because if you know anything about YouTube monetization, what you make with 1,000 subscribers is a joke. That's not what the main driver is. And I will have another video, I'll keep it short, the next video possibly that you see, where I'm just going to talk about additional reasons why 1,000 subs is important. But right now, I just wanted to say that I was reflecting on how long I've been on the platform, how much I've produced, the experiences I've had with you as individuals, as a collective. And I think that it's been a very interesting discovery and learning curve. I definitely have learned a lot from a technology perspective, a lot from a YouTube culture perspective. It's very different being on this side of the camera, definitely. And what I like the most overall is the interaction. It warms my heart every time I get a comment, respond to a comment, get a request. It's just so neat that no matter where we are in the world, we can connect in that way and share a passion, a common passion with people we would never, ever have come across in real life. That's just so much fun, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm really curious because I get more and more of these interactions every month being on this platform, and I'm just so curious to know how things are going to feel, 6 months from now, a year from now. I don't know. It's just, YouTube is an interesting place. Social media is an interesting place, but YouTube somehow, sometimes I feel because they're videos, you kind of get drawn into another person's experience a little bit. Anyway, getting deep. I'm going to use the Trooper liner to do the liner on my upper lash line. And I can't really talk very well and do liner at the same time. Okay, getting there. It's getting dry. I've said that in about 3 videos at this point. If you watch most of my application videos, you're probably saying, yes, I know it's dry. Sorry about that. But not everybody watches everything. I gotta keep everybody posted. And I'm doing a liner without having the mirror very close, so hopefully they'll be somewhat matchy-matchy. I am really liking the combo. And I'm not big on blue eyeshadow at all. I'm not doing a wing today. I've gotten really lazy. I'm just not wanting to do wings these days. Maybe I'll do one for Halloween. Oh, and I have my Halloween makeup. If you want to see a video on what I'm going to use, let me know in the comments. Okay, so that is looking all right. Now for the lower lash line, let me pick something and I'll be right back. All right, everything is so flashy. I decided to go a little bit more muted because I was thinking of picking Ransom, but I decided that Empire is just a better choice. And this is what I'm going to be using. I think that's going to work. Yeah, because the inner to center lid has more purple, and I think it's going to pick up quite nicely. So I'm going to do that on the lower lash line / waterline. I'm going to have to sharpen that pretty soon. Okay, other side. Oh, and another thing that this journey on YouTube has done, it has turned me into a nail polish lover. Julie, you know who you are. I have been encouraged by a few people here on YouTube when I started kind of getting into nail polish. And I have a nail polish mini mani month from Ciate. I reveal a couple of polishes every month, taking the advent calendar from the previous year and applying it to the next year throughout the year, 2 nail polishes a month. I have so much fun. This is where these colors are from. And I was never a nail polish person. YouTube has turned me into a nail polish person. Now I try to hold myself back and not get too many, but I'm really, really enjoying. And minis are great. You get to try a bunch of colors and not commit to a full size. and not feel guilty about having full-size nail polishes that just sit there and never get used. So that is my happy place. 2 nail polishes a month and working through the advent calendar. Anyway, sidebar. But I mean, I'm grateful for so many things. These are just examples of what I've been able to do on YouTube. So now I think I have all the liner. I just need mascara, and we are going to do this, will we? As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, so let's try this out. And it says 3.7 times the lash volume. That is quite a claim. Now, speaking of Urban Decay mascaras, I'm going to be comparing this one to 2 other ones from Urban Decay that I know of. Freak, that I've tried once, but I tried it on camera, and wow. And then Perversion. I like Perversion. Freak is insane. It's freaky. It is freaky when you put it on because it goops on the first time you use it, but don't panic, and then use the brush to kind of draw some of the product out, and it's a one coat wonder. This is an amazing mascara. Wow, just wow. It's freaky at the beginning, but it's absolutely fabulous if you want volume. Okay, commercial over. We're going to try the Troublemaker mascara. Now let's take a look at the brush. Okay, so it's a plastic brush, and I tend to have a love-hate relationship with those. So let's see, and I'm not going to use the mirror under the camera because I want to get a bit closer. And there is a little mirror in the small palette as well, and that's what I'm going to use. So let's do that. Okay, so it is pokey. You don't want to get too close to the lash line. So just based on the bristles, it's definitely a defining mascara by what I can tell. Even though it's got volume claims, it just feels more like a defining. So, and I'm not shy about using it on the lower lash line just because of what I'm feeling like it does. I don't usually use volumizing mascaras on the lower lash line because I find it makes me look clownish, but it seems to be working today. So I'm going to go back into the tube for the other eye. Another wonderful thing about being a YouTuber is the getting suggestions of, hey, if you like this, you'll like this. That's usually what YouTubers do for folks watching. But no, it works just as much the other way around. I get fantastic suggestions of what to try out, or a method to try out, products that, because I've mentioned I've fallen in love with one product, I get told, well, if you like this, you should try that one. And that's so helpful, and I find it so nice for people to take time out of their day to let me know what they would suggest if I'm having an issue, or just because I like something that I might like something else related to it. I think that's fantastic. It's definitely not a one-way street. I feel like I've been rambling this whole video, but it's hard. It's easy, I should say, to just keep, nose to the grindstone and just keep working away, plugging away, and not check in once in a while. And I'm bad for that. I don't check in with you often enough, I think, to let you know what I'm thinking. So I'm sharing it with you. I'm really focused on what 1,000 subs does for YouTubers as far as the tools and abilities that we get. And I'm going to say, I think that closing in on 1,000 videos, I'm going to say I'm probably a little bit disappointed that I haven't made it there yet. And I have some kind of a little bit of confusion about kind of why that might be. And I don't have an answer. It's something that I wonder about pretty often. And I'm going to use a Q-tip because I have some mascara dribbles here and there. And I'm happy with the Troublemaker. I actually think it does a pretty good job. I don't know what you think, but I'm pretty happy with it. Just going to get rid of some fallout and some mascara dribbles. I don't know if you can see some right there. And I'm just going to go in with the brush in the stoned palette and go back into the third eye and just apply some again. Just going in with what's left on the brush, actually. And that seems to be doing the trick. And I'm going to finish all of this off by putting on some Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. And I do have, by the way, if you're wondering what is on my lips, it's the Becca. This is the Pearl and Gold. And I'll just put a little bit more on. I thought that would go reasonably well with the eye look. Here we go. We're going to use a mini of this setting spray. This little guy, so I will spray it just off camera. All right, sprayed, and I tried to get it to dry a little bit, fanning myself with the Complexionista from Benefit. I like the look. I'm really happy. Thank you so much, Amy, for suggesting blue. Hopefully I did not disappoint. Like I said, I'm really liking it. Let me know what you think of this look. Let me know, please be kind, about my ramblings on the evolution of the channel, YouTube in general, what I'm thankful for, what I'm confused about. I would appreciate hearing from you. And as I said, I'm going to give you another more, let's call it polished and structured video on this topic coming to you soon. As usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.